Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. This is Seth and Beth, and Ben Chernivsky from Chicago. Ben, how are you? It's Ben, right?
I was just challenging
You hope
Seth
so.
to spell Ben's
last name is spelled Cher is first. C-H-E-R.
Good man, dude. Yeah.
N-I-V-S-K-Y.
What? Unreal.
That
Right
means
or
you
wrong?
guys are friends.
Right or
That
wrong?
means you guys are friends.
Right or wrong?
Okay, now.
No.
Ben?
No.
Do
Next
it.
question, please.
Do it.
You ain't spelling our last name.
Reciprocate.
There's no way. Do you know there's this like, okay, so did you see this thing on Facebook where it's like pictures of 3 stars and it asked you to shut your eyes and picture a star, and that said like, which one did you see? Did you see the solid star? Did you see kind of like the hazy star? Did you see like a blind man looking at a star shape?
What?
Yeah. So
What'd you just say?
A blind man looking at a star shape.
I was messing with the podcast board while he's telling me this weird story.
What did you see?
Okay, let's cut the chase here, Beth. We're on the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for being curious, Seth.
Thanks for being
I
here.
appreciate it.
I always want to know. You could tell me when Seth. Tell me now. Look, he's still messing with
Thanks for
stuff.
being here,
Seth,
Ben.
Seth is like, we need to focus this freaking conversation.
Ben is the owner / master photographer for This Is Feeling Photography, or just This Is Feeling, or I love the name. It's a great ass name.
It's like, yeah, this is feeling. It's yeah. Do we want to talk like what's it registered name or
Not really.
What's like percent?
Yes, let's get down to
This is
your tax
Feeling.
EIN number.
Yeah.
No, This Is Feeling in Chicago.
It's photo and video. This
This is a studio, right? How many people are in the studio? I didn't actually know you did video because
either.
I don't pay attention enough on social media. So tell me about it.
Well, I never tell people we do video either. Like I never share videos.
That's a good
right?
marketing ploy, I've heard.
It's like you really honestly would never know This Is Feeling does video because like you would never see it on like
In related
Facebook
terms,
pages.
we do Seth and Beth wedding photography and dog grooming. Beth,
It's grooming. No,
Nice
but
man.
how many weddings do you guys shoot? How many folks work in the studio?
I have about 5 lead photographers right now. 2 of them are salary, so full time, and then I have 2 to 3 videographers, 3 videographers right now. Kind of in a transition year.
that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot going on.
How many weddings do you guys pump out a
We have
year?
119 booked this year. We had 115 booked last year. So
You have 119 already.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how many do you think you're going to get by the end of the year?
at 110, I was like, please stop, man. I have a lot of trouble with saying no to things.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll probably book like a few more. 3.
Do you
I think that's a
do
capacity.
you do in-person sales for all these weddings, or
I don't. I've done it in the past.
I'll do it
literally
for you.
just thank you. You guys just quit. No, you are way too talented. I wouldn't let you. Nope, you're not hired.
let's
You
talk.
are giving so many good things to people.
Let's talk
in
about
the
it. Let's
world.
talk.
I mean, no, I've been through the education. I know how to do IPS. I know how to design the albums. I know how to do print sales.
Go
man. I
on.
literally turned that system off in my company because it was taking me too much personal time. And my excuse is I cannot find / hire a salesperson, but I just have too much going on in my life. So it was a very
Let's talk
conscious
about the other
choice.
things then. You
Sure.
own and are the brainchild of Gifyyy Photobooth. GIF. Why.
Thank you.
Why. Gifyyy Photobooth.
Yes.
A revolutionary booth, really.
It's yes.
How many booths are out there? Now, what number did I buy at? 12?
Oh God, you
6?
were late. You delayed for like a.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. 'Cause you and I met at Canada Photo Convention, wasn't it?
Oh my
CPC.
gosh, in Toronto?
Dude.
2015?
Yeah.
And then when did I buy a Gifyyy
Chris
booth?
have been bros for so long.
I think you bought not at that WPPI. I think you bought it the following WPPI. So I think it was the first one.
Dang, babe.
How so the Gifyyy booth
Yeah.
is a very portable,
Yeah.
small, but yet powerful and fun photo booth.
And it's very cute.
It's super
It's very cute
man.
and
I
lovable. We
cute.
take it to events.
love the look.
For photographers, it's as much as a photo booth as well as a marketing piece.
Yeah. Yeah, if you know how to use it, if you're down with going down that rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
you
We
definitely-
just
Yeah, for
started
sure.
doing this.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Just
So
gathering
proud
the
of you.
emails and the phones.
Yep.
And
It's really
So-
great.
Totally.
Yeah.
So tell us about the evolution of that company. We'll get back to the wedding photos. Tell us about the Gifyyy photo booth, because wouldn't you say this is kind of, Is this more of your claim to fame, or how do people think of you? You're the Gifyyy guy, right? Come on, let's get serious.
I don't know. That's like a super good question.
You're so amazing.
No, I do not know. I used to be really in the whole social crowd. I was very socially active with like wedding photographers and coming WPPI and all that stuff. And I've just kind of lost it in the past few years. And a lot of it is, it's not like I'm very interested in the people, but I just value being with my family so much.
Right.
And I'm just like totally burying myself. I love my wife. I freaking love my kids so much.
How old are they?
2 and 4.
Oh my
Little
gosh.
2-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl.
What do you love about them? What are they doing right now? That's so cute.
Everything, man. They're
Yeah.
just like, okay. I grew up in a family where like I would say like, good people, good well-intentioned people, but like there's a big emotional hole like in my family growing up.
What happened?
This is a gaping wound, man. And I think me having like a really stable family and creating like a loving family with my wife has like it's a huge healing process in my life right now. And I'm just trying to spend as much. It's so hard for me. I want to like just kind of stop everything and just hang out in my home all day and just go on vacations with my kids and stuff. Yeah, that's right, man.
He's getting all serious, Beth. I'm still trying to pump in the comedy to drive the show.
There we go.
You know,
it's
I think most folks, you're kind of the Gifyyy guy.
I think so.
Do you have
Maybe,
a booth?
yeah.
Do you have a booth here at WDPI?
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
How many machines are out there nowadays?
I think they're called McKinds.
McKinds. It's how you pronounce it.
How many McKinds?
I'd say like about 350-ish. Yeah.
I never thought you could do it. No, I'm
man.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's still good.
It's not a ton though.
Yeah.
It could be better.
Now, I think,
I want to know how you got like the idea.
yeah, tell me about it.
Okay. Here it goes, man.
I want to hear it.
I literally copied it.
And that's our show.
No, you're supposed to do the crickets button, man. Thank you. Come on.
You copied it?
Here, look at that.
Oh, sorry. He copied
What
it.
is
Okay.
going on?
He copied it.
No, come on, man. Okay.
That sucks.
No, yes and no, right?
Well,
Yes and no.
prior to the Gifyyy booth is you have the same old booth. Somebody would set up. They have the fake mustaches, there's always a Viking horn hat,
That's true.
which I am not opposed to, but there's always a Viking horn hat.
Yeah.
Or
You
one
take
of
the
those like
photos.
reggae dread ones.
They print the photos, and then you take a picture of the photos with your phone, and you put that on. So when did the idea come that you could do something new?
Here we go. No, straight up, I saw something like it at a wedding. And I was doing this wedding in Chicago, and I saw this like ring light in the corner. I was literally walking out, and this guy wearing like, those like photo booth attendants / DJs you hate,
Yeah.
because they don't even know how to dress.
Oh my gosh.
So this guy just walks in and sets up this little thing, and I was like, "You are kidding me, man!" And it was ugly. It was just like this metal like tripod with this ring light and this iPad in the middle. I was like, "That is the dumbest thing in the world."
Right.
And it had this app on it. If you guys remember, there's an app called Photo, PHHOTO.
That's exactly what Jeff Newsom was talking about. This
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. I think he was playing around with it for a while.
Yeah.
There were a few photographers that were. So they had a Photo Pro app, and like it basically was for event professionals, and it captured a boomerang, and then it asked for a phone number, and it sent it. And I remember I touched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so stupid. This is gonna be so stupid." And I touched it, and then I did it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this thing is awesome. It's so amazing, dude." So I actually called the company and said, "Dude, I want one of these. This is amazing." And like, I think a ton of people would hire this for like weddings. And they're like, "Yeah, we don't really rent it. We don't sell it." And they so their whole business model was they want to do huge corporate events, $3,000 minimum, large activation events. And I was just like, "Dude, this thing's so cool." I felt it, I saw it, and I was like, this needs to be
A thing?
And I'd always gone to WPPI, and like I was ready to spend like $5,000-$6,000 on it, like a photo booth.
Yeah, because
like
like
you were
like
saying,
$10,000.
yeah, back when 2015, easily
Photo booth company,
$8 grand, man.
Yeah.
And so I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna like bring this in. And I honestly was just gonna make it for myself. And then we made the prototype, and I was like, dude. And then I just got the bug. You know, when you get
Yeah.
the bug, and you're like, you get a feeling you got to do something.
I got to do something.
And I did it, and it was scary, man. Every step of the way, I was so scared, but so excited too.
How'd you get your people on board with you?
What people?
Like,
David?
Oh, so David is like my college roommate, and he he was studying. He's from England. He had studied in the U.S. for like 4 years or something like that, and he had just graduated college, and he went back to the UK, and he was kind of like bumming around doing freelance and trying to like kind of re-find his place out there. And so he wasn't really up to much. And I knew he's a genius, like software engineer, artist, author, you name it. He could do it all. And I called him and I said, hey, have you ever played around with like iOS development? He's like, dipping in it. And I was like, well, if I like pay you for your time, do you want to like really dive into it? And he was like, sure. And I described him the project, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so I bought him a flight to Chicago, and we hung out for 4 weeks, and we just built up the beta software together.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of did you experience any negativity with the first booths coming out?
Like what stage? Like for myself,
You ready?
Like my own weddings, or like
No. You ready? That booth is too expensive.
yeah,
He
man.
makes too much money off each event.
So many objections.
honey, didn't you not buy it for like 3 years?
Yeah.
Weren't you that guy?
Well, we hadn't. It's not like that was a big undertaking for us as well. And look, a $4,000 or $5,000 booth is not like a split rash decision. So we had to make sure it was right for us.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And well, we kind of came at a weird time. A lot of people that were our target market had already spent a lot of money on other photo booths that they hated. They
Yeah.
did not
So
like.
big.
And they were big. They were clunky.
They had to
they
hire
spent a lot of
somebody.
time.
Yeah, you got to
and,
hire
and
somebody.
they just didn't realize it. They
printer.
got so and this was the trippiest thing about starting this business is I knew what I was running up against. I really thought this business was going to survive for about 2 years. So I knew people were going to resist not printing. I knew people were going to resist like, hey, it's a high price point, and I've already potentially bought another one, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So why should I buy another one? So I really, 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 really needed to hope and be really clear with like why it could work for people. And a part of that was being in the game, being a wedding photographer, actually renting it and selling it and making money from it.
Yeah.
I only brought that up because the same people who gave me some shit for buying one, they bought one.
That's crazy. And that's why you just should not listen to other people's opinions.
Well,
ever.
You've been telling me that for a long time.
Me?
Yeah, I'm consulting you for business.
Oh yeah.
Advice.
We did. It's crazy. The things that it's so weird to think about. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. I remember that, man. That was a really, really fun like year of my life. And,
how do you handle so many weddings? 110 weddings a year, going on more.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't
You've
know
got
you
a
did
lot
that
on
many.
your plate.
We have 15, and
Yeah.
it's an all day thing for us. It's a wake up
Sure.
and do it all day.
Sure. I get that.
110.
You know, there's people that go to like 9 to 5 / 7 to 7, 5 days a week, you know, like 50 weeks a year. And we show up as wedding photographers, and sometimes we only have an 8-hour shift. And I know there's like commuting, and I know it's a lot of like, it's draining, right?
Yeah.
But is it, or is that just what we tell ourselves, you know?
I think that too, actually, is at times, you know, like,
I'm very tired at the end of the day. Physically tired.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally
I get that,
exhausted.
man. Yeah, totally.
I'm wiped.
Yeah.
how many do you shoot a year yourself with the assistant, or
I personally, like last year I did like 36.
36, bro?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So yeah, I mean, I still shoot. I don't think I'm going to shoot that many this year. That's a lot. But I took a few more last year because my team was starting to feel burnt out, and that was really painful for me to watch. It's like watching like your children get burnt out.
Yeah.
You're like, "Ugh." So I knew I had to like correct that and like be a part of that solution. So I just kind of jumped in and just, you know, shot a lot more than I usually do. So
Vanessa never takes pictures.
Oh, she kind of dipped into it. I remember a long time ago, she and I like tried to shoot a wedding together, and we just fought the entire time.
We had that.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
try not to show people.
this is not gonna work. I was like, I husband wife teams. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing, man.
We went through
I
our
could never do
trials
it.
and tribulations of like, I vividly remember we used to argue about the way a photo was cropped.
Oh yeah.
It was like, no, I think it should be like this. No, it should be like this, Well, wait a minute. I took this class, and this one guy told me we should crop like this. And so for us, it just took us some time to know our roles.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Boundaries.
you're going
we
to edit the
master-
photos.
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit the photos.
And then once we mastered our roles, it was like, I know that Beth's going to get that bomb wide shot at 24 while
We
I'm
all have
taking
our
the tight.
roles.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But when it's like little things, when something gets switched up, like that's when there's problems. Like, so you didn't get them coming down the aisle, and I'm like, yeah, I know, that's your job. I'm not. That's not mine. He's like, I just thought you were gonna do that. You were like right there, and I'm like, but that's your job.
Yeah, I think in efforts to be creative, we'll put ourselves in positions that get us caught,
Yeah.
And but hey,
Yeah, there's like I want to get that shot. No, I want to get that shot. Yeah. I hear you, man. It's like
Beth, why are we drawn to this human being so much?
I like his mustache.
That's it?
I like he has a V in his name. I like that.
And that's our show.
I like when people have like V's and Z's in their last name. That's
hey,
so cool to
rather
me.
than letting your wife answer the question for you, why don't you answer the question?
Well, that's true. I've met a lot of people in this world, and they're not on the show right now. I don't.
It's okay. You did.
I like your work ethic.
Well, he's nice to everybody. He was nice to me, even in the face of me not wanting a booth to begin with,
Yeah, man.
or at least not understanding the power it could bring for us.
I'm always into people that like just
Kick
work
ass?
hard in life. Yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
Like
I'm
I
super
just,
attracted to those
I'm
people,
like,
man. Just do it.
Yeah. I love that. I'm like, it inspires me.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going.
Totally. Yeah. I get
I
really
like
excited
that.
about people like that, man.
Yeah, so I get excited about seeing you at all these events. David is a wonderful beacon of positivity. Is he your
Humanity.
partner, or you'd say a Gifyyy, or just
Yeah,
sort of-
yeah. He's the company's split right down the middle.
I
between us,
figured
yeah.
because
So,
he looked
we're
really
50-50.
committed for just a guy who was just hired. He
Yeah,
was
no,
really
he's
committed.
Yeah, we made a business decision together. So it's
The
50-50.
interface that you've developed is really amazing. For us, I guess if you're a photographer and you've wondered, is this possible? We did not want to hire another person, get a printer that could break, get a bunch of stupid, the mustaches and the whole,
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah.
And we wanted something very simple.
Yeah.
So we got a photo booth from you that we can set up literally in like less than 60 seconds.
Totally, man.
And it is a gas at weddings. People love it. Old people, young people. And inevitably, we've seen a lot of fun happen in front of it. We've seen some body parts whipped out. We've seen some,
Yes.
we have to sort of censor some of these.
Isn't it magical watching people in front of? It's like my favorite part.
I'll just sit there and watch.
Older people are the
just-
worst,
Older people. They're
I know.
humping each other. They're
Goodness.
middle fingering this.
right?
I love it. I love it. Like one of the common objections I got from like people trying to rent it, like, oh, what about all people? And I'm like, dude.
Bruh, they're all over.
They're intrigued.
So like I got that question so many times. If you go to my Photobooth rental website, the very first like image is this old dude just like playing with Zippy Booth. It's like, so Zippy Booth is like my brand name for renting
Yeah,
in Chicago.
we call ours Gifyyy, GIF Columbus. Columbus GIF. Yeah.
So
And we just moved, so we need a Cleveland GIF.
yeah, dude, what's up with that move, man? I heard about this.
Yeah, we weren't really
Both Seth and I's families
are from Akron,
are from
Canton
the
area.
same. So his mom
it.
and my mom only live 7 minutes from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So they're getting a little older. Hopefully,
Like
they
free
don't hear
childcare?
that.
Is that what's going on?
No. Well, they were driving
They
all the way down to
will.
Columbus to help us. They just always help us, and we felt like we could move and not really hurt our brand too much, and it really hasn't. It's really opened it up to a new city.
Yeah.
And we went from less than a quarter acre of land to 2 acres. Our kids and the dog just frolic through the sunset in the summers.
Awesome, man.
And so we're incredibly content with life and loving it.
I don't like that word content. I feel like it means like we've settled.
I have settled a bit.
dude, what is up with that? First, I hear you 100%, man. But
I don't
what-
like that.
I know it's crazy though. Like we live in this time where it's like it's not okay
To be
just
content.
to be cool and
Tell
not
me about it.
improve and become better and like be productive. Like It's insane. It's insanity, man.
Yeah.
I struggle with this all the
You
time.
do?
Oh, yeah. We always, like, how often, like, do we talk about things like, hey, are you satisfied? Did you complete that project? Like, are you relaxed? Are you, like, confident and cool and engaged with your intentions and what you want to be doing and how you're doing it? Are you not comparing yourself to the world and, like, what society is telling you to do and capitalism is telling you what to do? And making money and saving for retirement and all this fake stuff that, like, you may never get to. Come on, that one book, and you die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are we actually doing, man?
Yeah, Beth, I think like content has not slowed us down in the bit, but it's just maybe that's a part of it. I'm being content with where we're at in life, with like not comparing ourselves to other photographers or other people who may be slaying it more than us. Just you know what it is, Beth? My idea of contentment is just living in the now, like loving our children, who, by the way, will turn 4 going on 10 here very soon. And that starts hitting you. Like I have been saying for years that we missed our child's upbringing, even though we took 7.5 million photos and videos. I still feel like there's a sense of missing it.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to a 9-to-5 job in 4 years, going on 4 years, Beth, and you're at 2 years. But the contentness is just I think for me, it's just a peacefulness that that I guess we've
You don't have to like try to find like push yourself.
No, we still do. Just the contentness and the peacefulness for me is that, you know what, we've worked really hard for a decade.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna like take a breath and like we're gonna watch a movie, wrestle with the boys, just kind of like be content. We're slaying it more than ever. Beth.
How often, like, when was the last time you actually said, you know what, I am so proud of myself. I love myself. I love what I've built. And we're going to fucking celebrate that. We're actually going to do something to show ourselves, our family, and the people around us that we're proud of what we've done. And you own it. And that's not egotistical.
It is I think when you say that, I think, well, you got to be humble and right. That kind of flashiness is maybe frowned upon. I mean, look, we moved into a big, beautiful house. It's the house of our dreams. I never thought in a billion years we'd ever be in this gorgeous, like, our mansion where our families come over and we have beautiful dinners. And it just hit me. I told Beth in another podcast, it just hit me recently that, like, maybe all this hard work for like the past 10 years, I have a PhD. I don't even use.
Let's talk about that, man.
All this hard work and Beth's hard work just finally paid off. I go to tennis and I sweat through all these clothes. I throw them on the ground. Next thing you know, they're in my drawer.
Dude, I know, mate. Like, and I'm sure this is relatable to a lot of people, but like I wanted to be like a photojournalist, documentary photographer. I wanted to like be National Geographic, boom, boom, everything, man. And I'm like a wedding photographer. And it's like awesome, man. I love it. Like, I honest to God am like so happy this is where life brought me, man. Because I think I would have been really, really, really unhappy if I would have worked in the news industry, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think like letting go of letting go of your dreams is actually like one of the most like powerful things in the world. And just getting like super present with like what like you're meant to find that's going to bring satisfaction in your life. And for me, it's like, I just feel like so like grateful for where I'm at in life right now. And a lot of it has just been like letting go. Like I would love to hear about like you getting like this freaking PhD. And you used to be a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, we work so hard for these things. And I'm really like genuinely curious. I don't want to like,
well, I mean, she was there to support me the whole time.
And if you've already talked about this on the
not
podcast,
too much,
no, not really.
I mean, I always thought that if I just kept on getting really great grades and following what the smart kids did, I would just make a lot more money than I had growing up, or at least what my folks had. And so when that didn't,
I think that's what it was. You were like so Seth and I met in 7th grade, so we've been friends for a really, really long time. And even when you were like a little kid like that, it was like you always just worked so hard in school, harder than everybody else. Like you were going to get an A on every test, an A in every class, and you were going to go to medical school, and you were going to become a doctor. Because
my dad came home every day like at like 6:30, just defeated and dirty, driving a dump truck.
Yeah.
And then like,
what was
like they'd fill the dump truck with asphalt, and then he'd go dump it, and then that's just all he did.
And then his mom worked like third shift at Ohio Bill at the time, like AT&T now. And so like, and his mom and dad were so great. Like, Seth, you're so smart. And so like,
Yeah, so they sent me to this private school that paid way too much money for, and then I went to another private school for college, which was a ton of money. And so
like, he was just like, all right, well, like, I'm just going to, like, I want to be successful someday. So I'm just going to work really hard and I'm going to be a doctor. And then that life will be better.
and it didn't really happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was stuck in like a rat race job. I had a cubicle with no windows. It was awful. It was really awful. And inevitably, of course,
I think
when
it's worse than a cubicle. It was like a closet.
yeah, well, it
with
didn't even have
nobody
like
else in it.
you know the cubicle where like it's kind of cut eye level and you can kind of like peer over. I didn't have that. It was just
Were
a
you
box.
like what was the dad from The Incredibles when he's sitting there in the cubicle and he's super fucking huge and you had your beard and you were just like awesome with your hair and
No
you're like,
beard at the time,
you're like,
but-
I fucking hate this shit.
Yes.
And you're just like
Right.
way too big of a presence for this little white wall.
So I got let go.
That's what I just saw.
I got let go on a Friday, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's the best thing ever happened to me." I was like, "Yeah." At the time, it was not, but then we basically committed to photography, and then now
Because
like,
we luckily we had the photography company when he was let go.
yeah, that's true. We had been going for like 6 years, so
Yeah,
that was
man.
our fail safe.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
I remember the first few times I met you, I didn't know if you were just messing with me, but like I was just like, this guy is like the coolest guy in the world.
Stop. Bitch,
Yeah,
please.
I am not gonna stop this shit. I'm not gonna apologize, man. I'm gonna be like you. I'm not gonna apologize.
apologize.
Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm gonna be perfect, man. No, dude. And your photography was amazing, and you were there at CPC, and I was like, God damn! Like I thought you were just like full time owning it, killing it,
No.
like the best. And I was like, what part of this do you not see that? And I remember you being really scared of like
Yes.
Going full time.
going full time, but like.
Yeah, it was silly at the time. Have you ever read the book
Totally
Unfuck
silly.
Yourself?
No.
Great book, but it basically
I
talks
just
about
thought
like
of all sorts of things though.
Oh, well, the guy talks about how almost every moment of our life when we're making decisions, we think we're right,
Yeah.
and then 5 years later we realize we're wrong.
Yeah, totally.
So like you end up saying, God, why did I wear that outfit? Why did I act that way in high school? Why did I get that? So inevitably you think you're right every second of the day, and you end up being like, why did I do any of this stuff? But it's a book about letting go and just being a little more content with your decisions and realizing
Yeah.
you still have to continue to do what makes you feel good and get out of your own head about right versus wrong. And so, yeah, you definitely helped me in that way. You know, I was comparing myself to a lot of photographers thinking that was the key to success.
yeah, it's
And then
really
we
hard.
actually let go. We talk about this on a bunch of different podcasts. We actually let go of worrying about where we stand and in the universe and how many likes we're getting on Facebook. And then we just went to like, let's just make this couple very happy. We just got this review from a couple we photographed 3 weeks ago. We have not delivered a single photo. And it's just the most incredible, well thought out 4-paragraph review of how amazing. And I was like, man, and with your guidance, it's, I just was able to let go and put our mental process and our mental thought into our clients, like.
Yeah.
I like to think of it like this: like I only have so many fucks to give in a day, right? So
That's
if
right.
I feel like this is like
give-
mom philosophy, which is
Listen to her.
So if I give this person a fuck and that person a fuck and this person, I only have so many.
I got no more fucks to give.
I have no more
No.
fucks to give,
Yeah,
so
that's
now I don't
right.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I can only give out so
Wait, that's the
many.
book, right? The subtle
Is
art of
that?
not giving,
Not
a,
giving a
fuck.
fuck,
Yeah, we
yeah.
read that together.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
That's
You
the
only
same fuck.
you only have so many.
I
And
only have so many.
And
Yeah.
this episode needs a parental advisory sticker in the corner. now.
This
This is turning into like a
whole
like a,
thing.
like a,
That's
like a
what we
late
should
night, like a
name the
90s tone
episode.
logo. Yeah, a Tupac album.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where does Gifyyy go from here? It's just like infinite, right? You want as many booths sold as possible.
Not necessarily, man.
Tell me.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's holding on to like one limited outcome of what life could be. To be honest, I would love if we sold like 1 million boosts, man. But of course I would, man.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not like completely attached to that. I mean, I am still
350 is
actively-
insane.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
It's a bunch, man.
Because
Yeah.
I was there, like I said, I don't remember
Oh,
when I
yeah.
bought it, but it was pretty early. And I
Dude.
remember,
We didn't even have price. Like when we went to like that CPC conference up in Canada, like Jasper, the guy that set that up, was like, "Hey, I saw your product and it's really cool, and like we have this floor space open. Do you want to come and like be a part of this?" And like I was like, we didn't even have the leg manufacturing set. We didn't have pricing set. And we were just like, okay, we'll be there. We just made all that shit up and just like pretended like we knew what we were doing. It was all well-intentioned. Our goals were definitely there. And then we went to WPPI. We had our shit all together and everything. But it's been kind of a crazy journey since like, when you first saw it, literally we didn't have a single booth sold. So
how many booths you hope to, do you set goals for WPPI about new photographers buying booths?
No. You should not. No, we don't. No.
How many folks buy on the spot? It's rare. I would
a bunch.
Assume, right?
Yeah. Not like a ton. It's really weird. The cycle of like seeing how people. Dude, I'll tell you, man. Watching photographers buy has been like the most eye-opening thing in my life. That's actually what I love. Like that's one of my favorite things about like being on the other side and selling a product to photographers. It's really gotten me into the psychology of like what it's like to sell to a photographer, and you see it from a totally different point of view rather than being that like, oh, I'm making all these excuses up to why I don't want to do this. You're literally like seeing it from like a third point of view, and you're able to like clearly see what's going on. Photographers are like the hardest people to sell to because like they're so unclear and they're full of so many excuses that it just doesn't make sense, man. So it's just been like really interesting to see like what it's like to sell to another person and see how they buy. But to kind of get back to your question about specifically what was the question? I totally forgot.
I forgot too.
No. We're gonna
how many at WPPI?
How many buy on the spot?
Yeah.
It kind of got me thinking about like how people buy and whatnot and the psychology selling and buying. It's weird. It's like some people are like, this is exactly what I've been looking for, and they're like, boom, take my money. But
there's other people in this world who've transformed a single booth into an entire career / business.
Yeah, totally.
Which we have not done. It's more of an add-on for our weddings, but other people are very serious about this thing.
Yeah, man.
Renting it out to hundreds of events, multiple booths.
Yeah, there are photo booth companies that had like a bunch of print booths, and then they were like, yeah, screw this, man. We're like, we do not like dealing with those anymore. And they just like are using like iPad, like Gifyyy Boost now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think it's just like a part of a process. There's so many different kinds of people out there. So like how people buy and what that looks like. I mean, there are people that like, they see us like at 3 different shows and they're like, oh yeah, I think I'm ready to buy. And we're like, cool. Okay. And then they finally buy. So it's very interesting to see like how people buy these things.
I am really glad that we got it, now that we are doing like email campaigns and stuff like that. I'm like, because I never knew how hard it would be to get emails to like send out a MailChimp if you didn't have an outlet like that.
Yeah.
So like when we were ready to like send our first MailChimp out, didn't we have like 3,000 emails or something that we were able to?
From where?
Just general correspondence. So our online galleries when they opt in.
Yeah. So you just gathered all that stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. What were you selling? Like what were you offering to people?
Just like if we were like making announcements and stuff like that. Like
not selling yet.
Yeah,
not
like about
yet.
like
oh cool.
the
like
podcast
stuff.
or
newsletter
blog
stuff.
or stuff like that.
Yeah. Mail lists are huge right now. It seems to be like a pretty big trend.
Yeah.
People are digging it. Yeah.
I know I like them. Like I do. Like there's like certain people that when they send an email blast out, I look forward to like reading them and checking in and seeing what's going on.
Me too, man. Like there's so many emails I don't unsubscribe to, just because like I mean a lot of times I'm like delete, but like eventually I'll take action and like do something about it. Like I'm sure like this is common. It's pretty normal. Like people want to be reminded. They're like they kind of are in this cycle of one day. Other people treat that differently. They're actually like taking action, reading emails, and getting information out of it. But yeah, I think it's really important to keep in touch with people and put yourself out there.
So Beth, I didn't even know this. You brought up like you got your dipping your hands into real estate. What are you into?
Oh, yeah. I'm like really, really, really conservative about my money. I hate stocks and bonds and the market and insurance and all that stuff. So I had like a bunch of money sitting in an account, and I was like, okay, it's just sitting there. What do I do with it, man? I was like, I have to do something with it. And Vanessa's my wife's parents, Vanessa's parents were moving from Arizona to Chicago after we had our first kid. And they were looking at all these houses in the suburbs, and they looked at this one house, and they used my realtor. I bought my first 2 homes with Vanessa through this realtor that we know. She's really cool, just like young girl that runs this like amazing like business, and she's just really personable. And she's like, hey, like she and I were like chatting about rentals because a bunch of my friends own rentals all across the country and stuff like that. And I was always like, whenever my friends were like, hey, get into rental homes, like it's a great way to like build up your portfolio and make money. I was like, hell no, man. It's so
world.
overwhelming to think about. I was like, it just didn't make sense to me because I didn't know how you could make money from it. And none of them like really explained it to me. They would just kind of like tell me that it was like a cool thing to do. So I kind of had to figure it out on my own about like how to make money from it. Anyway, long and short, my realtor was like, hey, Sean and Sue just looked at this home. They're not interested in it, but it might be like a really great first rental home if you want to look at it. And went there. It was in a really, really, really good part of town. We live in like the west suburbs of Chicago. There's like really good schools, and there's a train, bus stop. It's like super connected, highways all over the place. So it's a really, really nice place to live. And I just kind of took a gamble. It was like it didn't need a lot of work, and the price was right. And I looked into getting a mortgage, and then I just kind of calculated the math about like how much money I would have to make from it and what I would have to set the rental price at. And my geeky self just kind of was like, I got into it. It's kind of like how I got into my first wedding. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, hell no, I will never shoot a wedding.
Yeah.
But then like someone asked me to shoot a wedding, and then like I went on the online forums like fredmurata.com, and I looked at all these like other photographers and like what they were doing, and then I just got super into it, man. And so yeah, that's how I got my first rental home, and then it rented in like 2 days. We put it on the market and like rented it in like 2 days.
How many do you have now? Just the one or multiple?
4. Yeah, we have 4. We
Keeps
just
you
got
pretty
4.
busy then.
Kind of.
Do you manage them, or?
I do, yeah. But it's like a really fun like escape for me. I don't know why. I think it's because like, so my dad was an auto mechanic, and he was like Mr. Do It Yourself type person.
You can do all that, change toilets, sinks.
I mean, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes and no. I have a handyman that like. So my philosophy is like I do every project one time, and then I pay someone to do it because I like to see what I like, and I like drywall.
Tough.
Fuck that shit, man. I hate drywall, man.
It's
Painting. So it's like I now like there's some things I like doing. There's some things I don't like doing. But it's just I like being crafty. I like learning things, and like owning homes is a great way to learn things, man.
Yeah.
Like, just learn how like
And appreciate
plumbing and piping and
right.
like wood and
You appreciate so much
bathrooms
more
and
when you know what the
what's
heck
going
goes
into it.
sump
into it.
pumps. Like I've had basements flood, and
So when I talked to you, that's what was going on.
really
It was WPPI last year, and you're like, yeah, I got a basement that's flooded, and
rental
one of the
house
rentals.
number
and I was like,
3.
ooh.
It was the worst. 2 days before I go to WPPI, 2 days before we go to WPPI, and 3 days before a new renter was gonna move in.
Oh my
we had a basement flood. I'm like,
Jeez,
come on, man.
what timing?
Like the worst, man. The worst. Just like you
See
cannot
ya,
believe.
Vanessa.
Yeah,
Good
man.
luck.
And my wife's like, "Oh my god, these fucking rental homes, man." I'm like, I promise, like this, like it makes sense, and I know there's a pain in the ass right now, but the hard work is gonna like make it worth it, and like we're basically gonna be like making like residual income like in our life, and it's so funny now because like she is like, totally into like home design and home staging.
So she loves it.
Loves it. Totally loves it, man. And I love watching her like play around with that stuff. So yeah, dude, rental homes are a lot of work, man. I do not recommend people just dive into them. They are super risky. I know people have definitely like lost money in it. You have to
Buy at the right time.
You have to.
Buy at the right
it's a
price?
calculated risk, man. Like everything, like starting a photo business, pulling from a full-time job, man. You gotta do your research, and you can't do it just because people say it's like a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, like, do your research. I don't know. There's no other way I can really describe it except for like do you guys do rentals or anything? Are you guys? Because I know you do this. Like,
yeah. So one of our great friends now, who's our business consultant, owns as of last year, owns 1,000 units.
Oh, is this the guy that just like plays chess and bored all day?
My buddy Paul.
Yeah.
We haven't had him on the show yet, but I do a business podcast with him because after he got those 1,000 units up and running and with management, and then he dove into 12 to 15 other businesses. Yeah. And so, I've been dying to get into it. He's very adamant
you
that now
one home.
Yeah, we have actually. Thanks, Beth, for reminding me. I forgot about that. But
to
now,
answer the question,
that's right.
Thanks.
But now is obviously not the time to buy houses. The market's incredible.
It's a weird time, but you can always find gems.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. And so, I have a little bit of a stock pot. We invested in another business of late, so I can tell you about it. It's nothing special.
What is it, man?
It's a spray graphite.
Cool, man.
Spray graphite lubricant business. I'll tell you about it. It's nothing special. But no, I really actually I was
like perfect for him.
So
it like deals with his like chemistry background, photography.
So it's like a marketing. House because the company itself needs a little TLC. It's been ignored for a while, but it's got a great. People use the product, and it's got a nice customer base already. It's just been the customers have been ignored, so getting a little upset. So I've been calling out, reaching out to clients, and making new sales. And, so I don't have to leave.
If I like was pissed and I like picked up the phone and like you were on the other line, I'd just be
happier.
He's so cute when he calls these people
How can
too.
I help you?
Oh my gosh. Like, listen, I know you're probably upset, right? Because the previous owner, they weren't fulfilling orders, but I'm going to be here for you. And if you need, you just call me and I'll make it happen. I'm like, gosh, that is so cute.
If you were like on that late night like sales show, like QTV or whatever, like I would buy everything from you.
Everything? Well, I'm selling my Gifyyy booth. Maybe you want. I'm totally joking. We love that thing. All right, listen. We've said so much.
No judgment, man.
You've said so much about your photography career in Chicago. We have to do dinner. We're coming out soon, or at least coffee.
He gets his tattoos done in Chicago. Yeah.
Don't ask me where. I can't remember. But
you know the person. Oh, we should talk about it. I'm thinking about getting some tattoos, man. Of course, the person I want to do my tattoos is in freaking LA. And she has like 120,000 Instagram followers. And I'm just like, really? My wife's like, really? Like, of course. She like makes fun of me.
There's a lot of talented folks in Chicago. We were just there seeing Hamilton. Our kids love Hamilton.
Thanks for calling.
And so, yep, you're right. That was a quick in and out. So we'll be back. We will see you there.
Yeah.
Follow Ben and all of his comrades. This is Feeling Photo Video in Chicago. And go buy a Gifyyy right now. It's so simple. Just put your credit card in. He sends you one, and you start making money off of it.
We have a payment plan too, so
there's that.
Pay it off over time if you want.
Subscribe below, folks.
Ding, ding.
On YouTube, and follow Ben. What's your handles? Where do you want people to follow you?
All right. I'm really not that socially active. I just want to be like heads up. You might be mildly entertained by my children.
Sexually active or socially active?
Both.
Socially, man.
Socially.
Definitely not socially active. Wow. How did I mumble or something?
I don't think so, Beth, but he's
I just went there. I just went there. Saw that mustache. I just had to go for
whoa. All right. At Ben Chernivsky is like my personal one. That's gonna be like me and my kids running around creeks and shit. BenChernif, not a V in that. Ben Chernivsky. At This Is Feeling is This Is Feeling team.
I got a feeling.
That's right.
Inside my bones.
Beth, please. We know you're talented, but don't show it off so much with the singing.
And then at Gifyyy Photo for Gifyyy Photo Booth, which is GIFYYYPHOTO. Yeah, we have
get that YYY in there.
That YYY in there. So complex.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've made it this far, God bless you. SethandBeth.com is our website to see more of our stunning work. And follow us on YouTube. Pretty please. We need a subscriber list to 10 billion people.
Jeez. Need?
Can't we have goals? Thank you, Ben, for joining us.
Love you guys.
It's Ben, right? Love you.
Yeah.